Wow, was I disappointed and disheartened to hear that it was doing so terribly. Like, I wasn't expecting this to be a massive hit, but this was a massive bomb. Like, I mean, massive, like historically legendary bad. And I honestly don't get it. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was amazing, but it wasn't that bad. I don't understand the hate that this film has gotten. There are lots of things wrong with it, and at the end of the day, there's more wrong with it than there's right, I guess you would say. The things that are pretty dang well. That is the point of my review, to look at what the good and the bad is. But I want to kind of break it down by category and start with the design and production value. I feel people would agree on the fact that when it comes to the design comparison from the world to the games, it's pretty much exact. It's the same thing the Fallout show did, and we all know how well that ended up doing already after getting nominations for Emmys, which is, still kind of blows my mind. But the visual similarities to the world of Pandora style wise, and the clothing and the weapons and even in the backgrounds, it's just exactly like the games. And I feel like maybe that's just a thing that didn't matter to other people, or they look beyond it. But I look for things like that. I look for the accuracy of the movies to the games. So it looks like they actually made an effort. And I mean, the movie does look cheap, and it's crazy to think that on $120 million budget, they weren't able to like make it look a little bit better. But then there's a part of me that wonders, they wanted it to look this B movie-ish style. Personally, I think one of the big reasons people aren't quote unquote getting the movie is because at the end of the day, it's a B movie, at least in my opinion. I don't mean visually from like the style of a B movie with like campy cheesiness. And to me, ultimately, that's kind of what I feel like where this film went wrong with viewers, is that they don't get that they were going for this look and this style of humor. A lot of people are comparing it to the Guardians of the Galaxy just because it's it's like a ragtag gang of people that don't know each other trying to work together. But I really feel like it has this intentional cheesiness to it, and that people just really aren't getting that or vibing with it, or they're just not seeing what that is they're trying to go for here, and it really fell flat for people, and they just didn't get it. The way Cate Blanchett or even the Tiny Tina holds their weapons, you can see there's zero weight to them. But I mean, the visual style, the matching with the way they dress, like the Lilith and Tiny Tina's and Roland's outfits and Krieg's are all like exactly from the game, and Tannis, they even styled their hair the same way, and you can't really knock them for that. That was something that didn't work for other people, but I had no problem with it at all. I mean, they even had the like piles of junk that's just strewn all over the place. I thought the design was great. There's no reason to not dock the movie on anything for that, other than the fact that it does look pretty cheap. It's sad to think that a 100 plus budget movie can't come out with something that looks slightly better. I thought the actual computer visual effects were better than the actual practical designs. Some of the designs on the practicals looked, you could practically see that they're actually just styrofoam.
Claptrap looks exactly like he does in the game, and the effects on him were excellent, I thought. Probably the strongest effects in the entire movie is how well he looks composited into the background. And he's designed exactly like the games. And I thought Jack Black nailed the character. I think he was the one that got the character better than anybody else got their characters. To be fair, Jack Black is actually a gamer. Maybe he's the only gamer on the actual cast, and I wouldn't be surprised if you already knew about Borderlands before he got cast. They really nailed the character of Claptrap with his kind of annoying helpfulness. Like he's being trying to be helpful, but sometimes he sucks at it. Like he's not the best robot ever. He's a little incompetent. But at the end of the day, he still gets like what he needs to get done. But still focusing on the design and how well I thought they just kind of got how the games looked. Like that machine right there, that kind of vending machine where you can buy guns, are all over the games. And I spent a lot of time there buying and selling things because I'm a kind of gamer who always sells things that you don't need. And why is there a can of Axe right there? But then designs like this, which I really like, because the design of the maps is exactly like the maps that how they look like in the games when you're playing them and you're moving around the world and seeing where you are, and the fonts as well. Like that's exactly the way doll is spelt, and just like Atlas, and all the gun designs are just like in the games.
That's what I just said.
I don't want to. Roll the window. My mouth.
Sardine showers. Speak.
And ultimately, in terms of the design and the world, I think that's the one part that they really got better than anything else. The design is the strongest part of the film. It definitely looks cheap in a lot of areas, and I'm still torn about if that was intentional or it really is budgetary constraints, because at 100 million plus budget isn't enough to produce a quality level looking. But this it also makes me wonder that they spent more in the CGI, because I think the CGI compositing is really good in this movie. Like I said, the CGI is better than the practical effects, I thought, especially with Claptrap. I just thought he looked really real and fit in the world. And
Who programmed you?
I don't know! Which is a shame because you're an awful person and I'd love to know who to blame for this. Since I don't, I have no choice but to serve you until you're dead.
so for me personally, the design was the strongest part of the overall film. It did have some moments or shots where it looked cheap, but I really thought the effects with Claptrap were great. Perhaps focused on him a lot more, because he does fit into the world really well, and he's designed exactly like the games. It needs to get props for that and not overlooked by the people who just wanted to dump all over it, because I really don't think it's that bad. All right, well, this is it for my design part of the review. Next up is the story part. Stay tuned.